let's see where our motivations are. And you were 16 when you moved?
Yeah, 16.
And so your birthday didn't happen while you were moving?
I'm sorry?
Did your birthday happen while you were moving, actually?
My birthday?
Like, did you become 16 while moving out?
Oh, no. I was 16. Yeah, 16. No, I was dead even 16.
And so you brought your sisters and parents? Anyone else?
Just us. Although me and one of my sisters came in ahead of the family because of schooling. I was on my 4th year, and classes were starting in September. And it was either I stayed behind because the papers of the family weren't processed yet. So yeah, rather than me miss out a year, yeah, I had to leave, move ahead of the to start the school year. As far as my other sister too, she was starting out on college. But the others, they just stayed there until they waited until their papers were finalized.
All right. And did you have any idea what you were gonna do once you finally went to America? Like any of your family members? Like I'm sure maybe you weren't sure because you were 16? Yeah, 16.
Yeah. No, I had really no idea what it was like here. Although I heard stories about, I mean, you got at that time, one of my passions were cars, and I was told you could see all the different cars out here compared to the Philippines. The Philippines is fairly limited, and that was the only thing that really, I was looking forward to. Other than that, no, I didn't have anything. Yeah.
Kind of funny because, my dentist also wanted to, except he wanted to go into motorcycles before he took up his profession. But back to the thing. And what sacrifices did you make in order to live in the U.S.? Like, what did you have to give up while going here?
In what way?
Like things you did or things you had at your old place?
Oh, the luxury of having things done for you. Washing the clothes were done by the maids. The ironing, the cleaning of the house were all done by the maids. The gardening, there was a gardener. Yeah, I mean, we didn't have to do any of those stuff.
You just had to worry about school?
Yeah, just school and playing. Yeah, hanging around with kids. Your friends. That was it. That was life, normal, a typical life of a middle-class family.
And, alright, we are now moving into the settling of the U.S. part of this.
Okay.
What was the first thing you remember about finally coming to America?
What was the...
Like, what were the first things you remember about finally coming to America? I'm going to assume that you probably went to San Francisco first?
Yeah, we landed here, we settled here in San Francisco and then we moved out. I was just amazed by the freeways. Back then there was no such thing as freeways in the Philippines. There was one, but that was out in the rural areas.
Where you're like, there's nothing really?
Yeah, I mean, but freeways, going in and out the city was something new. I was surprised because I lived also with my aunt when I arrived at the marina, and surprised that the size of the properties are small compared to back there in the Philippines.
So you had family in America too?
Yeah, my aunt was here. As a matter of fact, my parents went to school, college here. That's why they had an idea of what San Francisco was like.
Mhm.
But I was surprised by the small properties, and the houses all stuck to one another, as compared to what they call single-family homes here, where they're all detached.
Mhm.
Most of the houses, or majority of the houses in the Philippines are all detached, as compared to here, where they're pretty much attached.
Literally on top of each other sometimes.
Yeah. I was told that San Francisco you build up, and not upways, and not, in the Philippines you build that way. But in the here you build up.
And what were your first impressions of the United States?
Modern.
You didn't think the Philippines was modern?
Compared to the Philippines, I had only there are only two things to two places to compare: the Philippines and here. Yeah, comparing the Philippines to here, I mean, yeah, U.S. was modern. Fast-paced was another thing that I noticed. That was it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, you settled in San Francisco first. Do you remember where in San Francisco?
By the marina.
The Marina?
Marina district. Yeah.
Any reason why?
My aunt lived there.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright, now on to life in the United States. What was your life like in the United States?
It was more challenging, learning how to cook for oneself. I couldn't depend always on my aunt. Washing your clothes, doing the laundry, doing the dishes were things that I had to learn immediately, because I never did that. Yeah, so and then going to school with a public transportation was another thing.
You weren't used to using the trams and such?
No, we were always driven to school and always picked up. Although, as I grew older, once in a while, I'd be hanging out with our friends, and my friends, and we'd either walk or take public transportation. But to commute to school, we were always driven. But here, you had to take the public transportation, wake up a couple hours earlier, just to
make it there.
Yeah, just to make it. Yeah. Wake up an hour earlier, and or a couple hours earlier. If your classes start at 8, you wake up at 6, be out by 7, and take 7 to 8 to get to school.
And how did you go about finding a job when you came to the U.S.?
My first job, I was already in college. My first year, I met a friend who was working in a parking lot as a parking lot attendant in Fisherman's Wharf, and he recommended that I apply, and I was.
That way you had some first-hand job experience.
I'm sorry.
That way you had some job experience in America?
Yeah, it was more of just to get additional money in the pocket, more to do more things.
Do you remember what your parents did for work?
My father, when he came here, he worked again for the bank. As a matter of fact,
sorry, cough drop.
In the Philippines, he was working with Bank of America, and when he moved over here, he also worked with the Bank of America. My mother was doing some importing business. She'd import a few things from the Philippines and set up shop here.
And what was it like helping to provide? Sorry, what was it like helping to provide for your family? in America?
My family, or
You and your family.
you mean not the current one?
Yeah, in America. You know, when you first moved.
We really didn't. Our only responsibilities from that our parents directed us was to keep our rooms clean, maintain our rooms, and we between my sisters and I, we'd alternate washing the dishes. We'd also alternate ourselves in cleaning the house. But other than that, that was only our way we could contribute to the family. The rest was also provided again by our parents. We were going through a transition period. The tendency of parents to be from the Philippines are to be protective. So, yeah, just trying to get work outside, get a part-time work is more like a step in towards being a little bit more independent. And with parents, they just want to be more protective. So, yeah, there's that struggle between us trying to move forward and them trying to hold on.
Any chance we can close these?
I'm sorry.
Any chance we can close the door?
Sure.
Thank you.
Want this too?
Yeah. Don't worry, I can edit this out.
Okay.
And, alright, and what's it like making new friends in America?
I noticed one thing I noticed was the different cultures. You had the Hispanics, and then the Caucasians, and then you had the Filipinos and other Asians. That's one thing I really did notice. Being a Filipino, not knowing anybody around, like example, first day of school, you tend to be clannish and hang on to, make friends first with the Filipinos around, and little by little, get your feet wet with the different
Different groups?
Yeah, the different groups.
And what was the most difficult adjustment for you, do you think?
Missing the Philippines, that was the hardest adjustment.
Just simply not being in the Philippines anymore?
I'm sorry? Not being in the Philippines?
Yeah, like I didn't...
It was just, I've had friends there for 16 years, hang out, my cousins were there, we'd hang out. The lifestyle was just totally different than here. Here, like I said, you had to do the dishes, fix your room,
Just simply do it yourself.
Yeah, do it yourself. Be more independent, put it that way. It was just a culture shock. From one that you were just protected, it's very protected. You were there with your friends, hang out with your friends, played with them and whatnot. As compared to here, you're more geared towards independency. That was the adjustment. That was hard.
And what were the difference in values between the Philippines and America?
The Filipinos tend to be very conservative in their ways. As compared to here you're more open, more aggressive. In general, okay, I'm talking in general. Here you strive to move up, keep moving up, as compared in the Philippines where everything's all given.
And did you experience any discrimination upon moving to America?
I really didn't know what discrimination was.
Because you never experienced it.
Never experienced it, and I came over here. Okay, if they told you you have to go here, I just have to go there. Yeah, that's same thing like in the Philippines. I mean, you were instructed if you have to go there, just go there. I never really experienced it. I never
even could comprehend at the time.
Yeah, I remember. My English class, reading a book, this was senior year. It was Tom Sawyer, and really I could not. It was hard for me to understand or to grasp discrimination. I mean, I started hearing of it the longer I stayed here, but really I never, whether I was discriminated or not, I never felt it. Maybe it's just my ignorance, or like what I said, I mean, they told you to go here, go there. I think it was only I'd say when I was on my own, I moved out of the house, but I felt some kind of, what really, some kind of discrimination it was. But again, really it's hard to, at the onset, I really didn't know what I was. But if you compare then and now, I think now is more liberal. People are more accepting of the norm than back then. Back then also, you'd see a lot of the clannish, being you're Hispanic, you just hang out with the Hispanic people. You're Caucasian, you were with the Caucasians. You were black, and Filipinos, you hang out with Filipinos. For me, it was more, like what I said, when I started, I hung out with the big clannish Filipinos, but I started to get to talk to other people, get my feet wet. Like what I said, to me, it really didn't matter, because what is discrimination? Really.
Never knew. So,
I think it was when it was implanted. There's discrimination. That was when I started becoming more aware of what is it. But coming from my mind was just totally naive on that.
And did you petition for any other family members to come from the Philippines to America?
No. My wife. I met my wife here, but she was on a different visa, and I had petitioned for her. But as far as family members, no. I came in as a student visa first, while I waited for my parents, the rest of my family, to have their papers worked out the proper way. And once they moved in, then I changed my visa to their, to be a dependent of them.
Alright then, and now on to being Filipino in the United States. Were you able to maintain your Filipino customs such as language while in the United States?
I still speak the language. I communicate with the Filipinos in our language if it's more comfortable for them. I'm sorry, repeat the question again.
Sorry. Were you able to maintain Filipino customs such as language?
Yeah, language. Customs. We still maintain the same customs at the house. As a matter of fact, my daughter, as she was growing up, she's now in college, but as she was growing up, we were still kind of protective of her compared to the other families, the other families that were born here who were more liberal. She would, also hang out with her friends, but again, we were very protective. Who did she hang out with? What are they going to be doing and all that stuff. And it was only starting in high school that she was starting to be more aware that, hey, I'm not in the Philippines, I'm here, give me some liberty or a little independence. And we started giving her little by little.
Right.
Yeah, the foods, we still cook the same foods that we eat in the Philippines. But otherwise, culture, we're not that far off from the United States as far as living, how we lived, our lifestyles. We're pretty much westernized. Not like if you were to compare us to from the Muslim world or even from the Japanese. I mean, they've got they're kind of Western, but I mean their lifestyles are a little bit different. Or the Chinese, their lifestyles are a little different. In the Philippines, we're pretty much very close to what the Americans are.
And did you maintain contact with the Philippines? Like, did you ever return to visit?
Yeah, I used to go home when I was back then. I'd go home like once every other year.
Was it after Marcos was removed?
No, even while he was there, I went back like every other year for vacation.
Saying hi to family and friends?
Yeah, hi to family and friends. And I just give you an experience of going back to, I mentioned about it's who you know that can get you up there. Okay, give you I have this story to tell. Wherein I was going back with a family friend who was pretty well-to-do out in the Philippines, and he had a lot of contacts. So when he was here, he was ready to go back, and I was also on my way to go back for a vacation in the Philippines. We went together, and he's a little bit older than I am, about 15 years old, much older than I am. Anyway, we were in the same flight. When we landed, normally, after you land, you
just walk out.
Go through customs, immigration. With him, as we got out of the plane, we went straight down the tarmac, and I was instructed to give my passport to this guy. I had no idea who he was. And there was my friend's car was waiting there, plain sight, and we just hopped in and went home. Didn't go through customs or immigration. He's not a government official, and so got home. It was like early morning, so we had breakfast at his home. And about an hour or two later, our baggages were being brought into the house. So. Again,
And do you ever experience homesickness?
Back then, yeah. Now,
not so much.
Not so much. Most of our family had migrated here. My cousins are all here. My aunts are all here, aunts and uncles. There's only one family member there that I'm not really that close, that's left behind. And for me to go back there is like me being a tourist. My friends are all scattered all over, so really I have no place to stay there. I'll probably check into a hotel.
And do you notice the difference in personality between Filipino Americans and Filipino immigrants? And by Filipino Americans, I mean those that are born here. Yeah.
Personality? Yeah, a little. Again, yeah, the ones that were born in the Philippines, you notice they're more conservative and more uh, protective of their kids. Or a good example is my kid who was born here, and I'm comparing her to me when I was her age. She's more independent as compared to back then when I was her age. It's just something, being independent is just a way of life here. So.
All right, and do you feel that Filipinos in the U.S. are the same as Filipinos in both the Philippines? Or is there like a big difference?
In what way?
Like in either culture or ways of thinking?
Well, one thing I notice among all Filipinos is that that the culture is always passed on to their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they try to remind the kids that these are their kids born here. That you know, to instill to them that remind them where they came from. This is how we did this in the Philippines. Yeah. And sometimes there's that conflict between them and I, or me, being born in the Philippines. Like my daughter would say, "Hey, yeah, I mean, you may do things this way back there, but I'm here, and it's different. You just don't do it." And kind of, opens up my eyes. Yeah, she's right. As long as it's nothing unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But they do things a little different.
And here's a very interesting question that I have. Is education in the Philippines, is it equal to U.S. education, or at least enough to maintain a career in the U.S.? Because I do know that, that many times a college degree from the Philippines doesn't count in America, actually.
You mean the units, the courses that were taken?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As far as the high school level, they're more stringent out there. As a matter of fact, all my courses that I took in college, they accepted it out here. The only thing, by the time I got into my senior, like what I said, when I moved in, I was my senior year, I had completed all the required courses already, other than just 2 courses. That was U.S. government and U.S. history. But I had 4 years math, 4 years English, 4 years.
It's a lot different nowadays. Where math you have to take 4 years, but and English. Well, actually, math is 3 years, and English is still 4 years.
But I mean, we had. I mean, it was everything. 4 years. It was. Hold on 1 second.